Hello, and welcome to Let's Talk Real Estate, the podcast where we dive deep into the world of real estate investing and the random stuff that makes life interesting. I'm John Whitfield, joined by my single co-host this week, Carlos Zamora from Carrot CRM Investor Views. You got a title this week. You figured it out.
I threw it on the end of last week. I didn't know if you guys picked it up or
Okay.
not.
I didn't notice it last week. That's funny. We
But
need
yeah,
to
first.
match up our titles so they look the same.
So it is Carrot. We are moving to Carrot CRM, all one word.
Oh, okay. All right. Good to know. I'll do that and put a little plus in there, and I'll match yours next week. But yeah, Brandon is out at the parks this week, so we'll get some fun updates next week on his journey through all of. I think he's meeting with a lot of vendors. So
Nice.
But yeah, interesting week. I think we'll spend most of our time here today talking about AI because a lot of things happened in the last 7 days. When is it that GPT-5 came out? Was it last week? It was last week, Friday or Thursday, something like that. I watched the live stream. It's pretty interesting, but there's a whole kind of recap that we'll share here of just what's happening in the AI world, and then we can kind of dig into the things we want to talk about. So here's the biggest news of the last 7 days. So swipe from there we go. Google DeepMind announces Genie 3. Turns a single image or text prompt into an active 3D world you can walk around in. What? That's interesting.
Video games are going to be so crazy.
Yeah, I think that's wild. Yeah, I think that industry is going to get disrupted like massively about AI with AI generated content. I don't know if they have like the level to take the content to like an actual game design code level, but still pretty interesting. GPT-5, we'll come back to this because I've spent some time with GPT-5. Anthropic released Opus 4.1. I don't use Anthropic a lot. I want to. I think it has an interesting way of kind of working in projects and context. A little bit better than ChatGPT does, but I haven't pulled the trigger on paying for Anthropic yet. Gemini storyboards, co-rate and illustrate custom storybooks. The amount of like AI kind of focused towards kids is pretty interesting. I wonder how many people adopt that in like kid workflows.
Yeah, some of the study mode and stuff like that.
A2 Stellar Hunter.
This I saw Aubrey Marcus post. Have you seen this?
I have not seen this.
I mentioned this last week, so this must have came out like I saw this maybe the day that we did the recording last week, but this thing can like run up mountains and
those things are coming to the military. It's crazy. Have you seen the humanoid robot? I can't remember the name of it, but the guy who founded it has it in his house now, like doing laundry and stuff.
Yeah, I saw
that. Owen Quen image. 20-bit parallel Excel. They're rendering complex multi-line text and images in both English and Chinese. Challenge for most image generators. Interesting. So you can give it more information and it will actually do it. Oh, does it mean putting text in? Oh yeah, putting text in. Whatever that. I'm not sure. I don't do much image generation. 11 labs, 11 music. Oh, see, this I also thought was coming. Because have you seen the people like on Instagram that they'll use like AI to like write a song and then they'll play along to it? So yeah, I mean, the amount of like people that make kind of like background music and stuff all going to get replaced by AI.
Damn. That's crazy.
Yeah, ChatGPT OSS. I need to like research this more. I saw this when I was starting to play around with ChatGPT-5. It looks really interesting, like just massively huge models. And like its ability to take in a lot of context is really interesting for like when you have a large amount of data. Yeah, face the largest copyright class action. Well, duh, because they trained everything on everything. Figure establishes. Hey, this is what I was talking about. This is the figure robots. I wonder how much one of those costs, because I'm like, it's cool and all, but how I still feel like we're a long way away from like iRobot world where anybody can have one of these.
I thought that was coming out this year. I feel like I had heard that was going to be like end of the year, or maybe that was just an Elon Musk like.
Because Elon has a competing robot, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
But maybe that was Elon, like, just with, like, Tesla releases too, like, saying it's gonna come out, and it doesn't come out as fast as he says.
Yeah. That's wild. Well, there we go. There's our updates. So yeah,
Alright.
I've been using ChatGPT-5 a lot. Um, let's talk about the announcement. I think what was really interesting from the announcement was a couple of things. Its ability to reduce hallucinations and lying was pretty interesting, like a massive drop, at least in their internal kind of doctored graphs, which there's a lot of stuff about the graphs. I don't know if anybody followed that news, but people are saying their graphs were horrible and lying. But anyways, they claim to have reduced hallucinations and lying in the model a lot, which is really interesting. But then I also enjoyed like how they're taking the fact that you would want to pick a unique model for different things. Like I want to reason, I want to code, I want to write. You'd like pick different models, and that was what people were mostly confused about in the ChatGPT world. Is like you log into ChatGPT, start a thread, and up at the top, there's like 7 models to choose from, and people are like, I don't know which one. And so ChatGPT-5 is supposed to like replace all of them and have all of this in one. But what was interesting is they had a massive backlash from the AI community and ChatGPT users because people had built out workflows that they go into ChatGPT and they've got like assistants or they've got certain prompts that they know work really well with the models because they kind of tailored the use case to the different models. And
Mhm.
then you try and take those use cases into GPT-5 and it wasn't working. So everybody was because they were basically they replaced every model and all that was available inside of ChatGPT was ChatGPT-5, and so everybody got really mad that all the old models are gone and now like their workflows that they were using with the old models disappeared and now didn't work in ChatGPT-5 the way they used to work in the older models. So they're Sam Altman's saying they're going to bring back some of the models into ChatGPT interface so that you can use some of the older models. But I thought that was really interesting. I didn't have any problems with that. I don't have like prompts or workflows that I use every day inside of ChatGPT. It's usually just that I need to go do something with ChatGPT and I go do it. But
Mhm.
it was interesting. A lot of people got like really upset about it.
I
But
think some of our members or wholesalers might be upset about that depending on what they're doing.
yeah, if they are consistently doing something in there, yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
Um, but its coding ability is really intriguing. It looks to be very, very good at coding. Some of the demos that they walked through were really impressive, and they put ChatGPT 5 and with the label of Max. I still don't understand what that means into Cursor. And it's kind of reasoning and moving through building something was one of the most advanced kind of coding applications I've seen so far for like simply autonomous and going and doing it itself. I
Mhm.
haven't gotten into Cursor to play around with it yet. That's something I'm working towards, as is the dev team here at Carrot Serum and InvestorFuse, just to see because it has a massive context window, which means that you can take a lot of code and give it to it and it can read it. Where some of the older models, had a very small context window. And what's interesting with ChatGPT-5, at least according to OpenAI, is when they had other models that had big context windows, but when you would give them a large amount of context, their ability to reason through it would drop with the amount of information. So they showed a graph, and it's like the more context it has, the worse it almost gets because there's
Mhm.
just a lot of information in there, and so it will miss things. Where ChatGPT-5, even with a large amount of context, stayed relatively steady for like its ability to reason through that entire context. So from a coding perspective, that's really exciting because you can give it a lot of code, ask it bigger, more important kind of infrastructure questions. And that's where like I've been thinking the AI world is going to struggle in coding is its ability to make better suggestions on a larger whole project scale, because it can't take in the entire infrastructure and
Mhm.
understand like how do I make this decision for this small part while looking at the whole. It seems like we're getting closer to that being possible, so that's pretty exciting from a coding perspective. Trying to think, it did launch on the API, and so I've been playing around with it on the API. So our AI property analysis reports are almost here in beta. I was going to show them on this week, but it's not quite ready because I upgraded some of the prompts to ChatGPT-5. It's giving a lot better information back, a lot more comprehensive, mostly specifically on how it analyzes our proprietary market scout data to tell you how that market is doing, like how many cash sales there are, like just a lot of different factors. And so I have created a really good prompt of like analyzing. I think we have over 40 different data points per market to analyze those and come up with scores and ratings for the market, and then ultimately provide them in a user-friendly format with like, here's the high level guidance as well as the detailed kind of scoring elements for that market. So I'm excited GPT-5 is out. What I have noticed from an API level, what I have noticed is it's a lot slower. I was able to do things, in 30 seconds to like a minute. With some of the older models, GPT-5 can take 2 minutes, 3 minutes to process. I don't know if that's just because everybody's using it right now from an API level and trying it out, but so I hope it speeds up a little bit. It's not as quick as some of the other models. There are like minis and nano models of that, which are quicker, but I like the full scale kind of reasoning and functionality that GPT-5 has. So I'm excited about it from an API standpoint. I think it's a good model to do a bunch of different tasks and solve some needs and have some really good detailed reasoning. Have you used it at all?
A little bit, not anything crazy. And in general, I don't use it as deeply as you do. But like my marketing brain is excited because I'm like, man, I need to get a John Whitfield GPT to teach me everything, and then I could just essentially talk about it to get people excited about it. The API is super exciting, and I feel like that opens the door for a ton of things. Like we talked a little bit of the last couple episodes of people create like it's like an arms race to create your own voice product right now in the wholesaling space. I'm sure in other spaces as well. This is just the only one that we touch every day.
Yeah.
So that will be interesting as people bring their own voice and we can use API. I had a convo, which one that I brought up yesterday, a buddy that has a voice AI, and him and his partner's vision is just thinking like CRMs and websites are going to be completely like, and funnels, click funnels are going to be like turned completely on their head. Like essentially somebody fills something out and it goes all to a voice person reaching out, like AI voice and text reaching out. Like he thinks that's all going to be gone. CRM is going to be massively disrupted. Everything's like the videos Dan made like 12, 15 years ago of like the make me an offer on this. It's all just voice talking to it. So that's pretty crazy. But I feel like it still needs a visual like element to see everything.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you need a place to input that, and as time goes on, the AI gets better. Like maybe the need for the visual starts to go away, but yeah, the way that I would approach that is still here's the core visual, and now we just overlay AI onto it, and it does things automatically for you. But you can still kind of come in and do things manually or review and see what's happening. But yeah, I do think we'll kind of get to that world. It was interesting. I had a call with Jordan, the CEO of Smartphone, on Wednesday. They're working on a few features. One of them is a AI voice inbound call answering. So like somebody does an inbound call, the AI will pick up route calls, all that kind of stuff, take basic information. Things that like Resimply is having in their AI feature set. But we kind of talked a little bit about what he's seen from a legal perspective with AI. And so he's already seen the governments and regulations starting to move towards AI texting and AI outbound calling, where you have to declare that it is AI. And I mean, we all kind of knew that's coming, and I think that that's going to be a disruptor to people who are like moving so heavily into the outbound AI world. They can choose to ignore that, and they open themselves up to legal risks, which unfortunately our vertical tends to try to ignore. I wish they didn't, because it causes problems for everybody else. So I think we'll still see a lot of people that ignore that, and unless the providers like Twilio get involved in stopping that kind of thing and enforcing it, it'll just kind of come down to legal. But it does prevent bigger companies like a smartphone and a dial pad from introducing these features without those restrictions, because they've got to protect their functionality and their product, and so they have to put it in. And it's like, okay, now we have, like, as we're seeing, all these like little pop-up AI things, and people use them, and they might start getting the legal risk. And so it feels like A2P 10 DLC is like repeating itself, like that, just like progression of, it was the wild, wild west. Here came these laws. People have to adapt to them. Finally, we get there after like 4 years of work, and now it's kind of normal and people understand it and it's a thing. I feel like we'll go through that same kind of path with outbound AI texting and outbound AI voice calls through the next 5 years.
Yeah, Jordan was sharing some of that legal stuff in the Family Mastermind
Yeah, you told me
group
that.
presenting. So he's feels like he's super on top of it. Yeah, I don't know. I still think there's a benefit of powered by human type marketing and the folks that do that. But yeah, I mean, eventually, who knows what it's going to be like? Like, it could be a voice only with like your AI glasses on that you see everything, and like kind of
Yeah,
like Tony Stark, Iron Man. But we're gradually taking step by step there.
yeah, we are for sure. It'd be an interesting world we all keep stepping into for sure.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But
Yeah,
yeah, the property analysis is really cool. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, that the like just thinking about it, I know that there's a lot of benefits to the voice and stuff like that, but I still think a regular human, unless it's companies that just have so many prospects and so many leads, like
yeah,
I don't know. I feel like real US based humans that know their numbers, know real estate, are going to outperform that.
yeah. I think so too. I think it'll take a while for AI to be at that level. And even then, like, I'm still very much in the world of like AI assisted to,
Hmm.
the top performers. I think there'll be a massive opportunity where like your overhead can be reduced because you're not like having to have as many like follow-up specialists and lead managers in that type of role.
Hmm.
But I still see a spot for the solid salesperson.
Hmm. And yeah, one of my buddies I saw this weekend in Baltimore, he said he let go of like 80% of his staff in his property management company, and it's
Oh,
all
really?
just voice AI.
Yeah.
Saved
Brandon
like
needs to get on that
six
train.
figures. Yeah.
How many
He said he
properties
saved,
does he manage?
I don't know. There, I mean, it's internal. It's all his. Under 100, maybe
Okay.
close to that.
All single family?
Yeah,
Yeah.
majority or small multifamily, 4 and under.
Nice.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
yeah,
we
that was
definitely.
that was interesting to hear.
Good use case for that for sure.
Hmm.
It will keep happening.
Hmm.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else interesting about ChatGPT 5. Those are like the main things I was really intrigued about. It's a rate
Overall adoption. Where are you seeing overall adoption by people like civilians and everything like that?
GPT-5.
Just chat. Yeah, I guess Chat GPT in general over the last
It's still
summer over the
increasing.
summer.
I
Yeah.
think it's crazy. What's their figure? Like 700 million people visit ChatGPT. Is it once a week or once a month? Something like that. Wildly like massive numbers. Like,
Hmm.
to have, I mean, let's call it what it is. It's a SaaS product, right? It's got
Hmm.
subscriptions to it. Like, any SaaS owner would dream of numbers like that. So,
Hmm.
and that's where, like, I think ChatGPT has kind of won, is they were the first to market, the most well-known name, and so a lot of people just purchase them or use them because they don't know Anthropic.
Hmm.
Um, Google Gemini a little bit harder to get into. Grok is trying its thing with X and how you get into that, but I think it'll be hard for them to catch up to the amount of users that just use ChatGPT.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like the gold standard, most popular one before. Few people
Mhm.
use AI and ChatGPT synonymously too.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just the same. Yeah, I've been using the interchangeable words to the common person out there for sure.
Mhm. Yeah, man. Interesting back half of the year, remainder of the year that we had for sure. I saw Pace posted too, like an Uber driver. He was taking an Uber and he was saying that, or the Uber driver was saying like it's harder to make as much money as a side hustle because people are taking like the Waymos, like the cheaper, just
Mm,
automated driving,
yep.
which is pretty crazy.
How
Do they
many
have them
cities is
out there?
not in my city, not in Gainesville. I don't know. Where is Waymo at?
Seeing like that, what I have found myself using is the Google AI mode. I know we've been talking about that.
On search? Yeah.
Yeah,
I like that search a lot.
same.
I forgot how to spell it. Current cities. It's in Los Angeles, Phoenix, San Francisco, Atlanta, and Austin. It's coming
Mhm.
soon to Miami. You have to let us know how that goes in Washington, D.C.
I see them around. I don't know if people are taking them or what.
Oh,
In
you do
the
see
AI
them in Miami?
overview, yeah, it's testing them. So what's testing in Washington D.C., Miami, and New York City.
Okay.
Yeah, but I see them around with like all the cameras strapped on. I see them all the time.
I've seen like videos of like like how Waymo avoids car accidents. Like it feels like a wildly safe car.
Hmm.
Just its like ability to view all cameras around you. It's like so much better than a natural human being.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I believe it, dude. Riding in the Cybertruck, uh, aggressive mode, I think it was called.
Aggressive mode.
That was like that was eye opening. That was an eye opening experience. I was like, damn, this thing is better than me.
Is it self-driving in aggressive
Self
mode?
driving.
And it'll
Yeah,
just like
self
weave
driving
in between
aggressive mode.
traffic?
Hmm.
That's wild.
Hmm.
I want to like
Hmm.
rent a Tesla to just experience that driving at some point.
Oh man, it's awesome. It's super awesome. And I think I mentioned on last week's episode when I was ordering food, it was the first time where it was like, if it's a robot delivery, it's going to be cheaper and you don't have to worry about a tip.
Oh, really?
But I see them all the time around.
What did you order through that
Uber
offered?
Eats,
Okay, Uber Eats
Uber
offered
Eats.
the
But I
robot
see the
delivery.
little cocoa machines, and now they each have personal, like they have like human names, like
Okay.
George or Aretha. Yeah, it says it like on the screen. So they and those the motions on those are pretty crazy too. Like walking on like little tight sidewalks, they'll
Yeah.
like completely move out of the way whenever they sense something coming or a car or something like that. So
So did you use it?
it didn't give it. It just said
Okay.
if it's a robot, it would end up being a human. But that
Okay.
was the first time that I ordered food where it was like I've seen them a ton, but that was the first time it happened for me. I don't order carry out food. I had family here, but that was the first time I noticed. I was like, oh wow, it might be a human that brings
Yeah.
it to the door or a little robot thing.
I'd be intrigued what that experience is like. Does it wait until you come like take the food out of it or does it drop it off?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because you have a door like a
Like a lobby
person?
person, yeah.
Lobby
Hmm.
person. That's the term I was
Hmm.
looking for.
A concierge maybe is the right term.
Mm, yeah. Do they take like your food orders and then you pick it up from them?
No, they would order it like if somebody orders carry out or food, delivery food, it would come them. The delivery person would bring it up to their
Okay.
room.
Okay.
So yeah, that'd be crazy if they're sophisticated to like you put them
Well,
up the elevator, they could
yeah,
just come
go
out
to
and bring right to your door.
it.
I don't know if they come to the lobby or what. That'd be crazy.
That'd be wild. You imagine being like the concierge person and it's your first time interacting with this robot and you have
Yeah,
no idea. Do they talk?
I
Do the
don't think
robots
so.
talk? Interesting.
I don't think so. Not that I've seen. Maybe though. I'm gonna order food every so often until I get a robot.
Yeah, just
See what happens. But I see them all the time around.
my dog is barking at nothing outside.
Sounds all right.
Well, cool, man. I think that's our AI update.
Love it.
It's been a busy week. We can buy
Yeah,
back a little bit of time and then get Brandon's fun stories for next week for sure.
love it. Love it. Have a great weekend, guys.
Yep. See you around.